Mixed mulch, no rules gardening. Well, I mean, there's a few rules you gotta follow. There is the biology and the life you gotta pay attention to. We're towards the end of July, and we're gonna go ahead and plant corn and carrots. And just like any other planting we do in the mixed mulch garden, we're gonna pull that mulch back to bare soil. I've got cardboard here. That's gonna be for our carrot hack. We're gonna have to go get some seeds here in a second. And I might go ahead and put a few other little surprises in here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and spread this out a little more. We had a viewer write in and said, my corn patch back there was a little too close together. And really, corn is a grass. And if you look at your lawn, grass grows pretty good all close together like that. Now I do plant heavy out here in the mixed mulch garden because we don't put any chemicals down. So I have to share a little bit with some slugs and some other kind of critters. If I don't plant heavy, I might not get a crop. But if I plant heavy and they all come up, and you know me and thinning out, well, there's no rules. Which is really weird because the way I grew up, if I didn't keep that hoe just right, if those rows weren't perfectly straight, if I crowded things together, oh, it was bad news. But I got really frustrated at having too many weeds and not having very good harvests. That's how I came up with this mixed mulch garden. And I like to take advice from the viewers. That's why Saturday is my favorite day of the week, because we go to you and we celebrate what's going on in your garden. And there's so many different ways to garden. There's really no rules. And because there really are no rules, we just use our experience. Like our carrot flowers that have dried out here, I think we're gonna go ahead and just scatter those just like nature would, and we're gonna grow some more carrots. So we're gonna have corn on both sides, and then we're gonna go ahead and have carrots right down the center here. And I just took this seed head, and we're just gonna roll that in our hand. You see all those little seeds start coming out. There's some trash in there, but that's okay. And we're gonna go ahead and put this in pretty heavy. And I'll bet we get some carrots. And carrots, they really don't like to be covered, but they do like to stay moist until they germinate. So we're just gonna pat these in, good soil contact. And cover them with cardboard. A little bit of mulch around the edges in case the wind picks up. Don't want that cardboard blowing off and having your carrot seeds dry out. And then we'll come back and put a little water on here. And then it'll stay good and moist underneath until they germinate. And this time of year, it doesn't take them very long to germinate. We'll come out here and check them every 3 or 4 days. The minute we see that they have started to germinate, we need to remove that cardboard so they can continue to grow. Otherwise, they'll get leggy and they'll smother them out. Let me go ahead and find my watering can. While we do that, let's take a look at a couple of our friends and see what they're doing in their no-rules garden. Art's wife decided she was done messing with the container bananas. She went ahead and planted them around their pool. It not only makes an exotic landscape, they should actually grow bananas this year. But what she doesn't know is Art's gonna go ahead and dig up a couple of those and put them back in pots and bring them in for the winter. Art, this is beautiful, thank you. Pam is a new contributor to this community. She took a few shots off her balcony and just wanted everybody to see exactly what you can do in containers in a small area. Chaos garden, no rules, lots of produce. Pam, this is wonderful. Thank you for the inspiration and welcome to this group. Now you can see why Saturday is my favorite day of the week. I get to go to you and see what's going on in your garden. This is where we get ideas. This is where we get inspiration. And this is where I get the motivation to come out here day after day, show you just exactly what's possible in a mixed mulch, no rules garden. Remember, I left the watering can over here yesterday when we went ahead and tried to save this zinnia. It was looking pretty pathetic. We've got leaves that are perked up and these flowers are doing okay. So it didn't actually snap it completely off, but it broke it enough that I didn't want to stand it up for fear that I was going to actually break it worse. And then we put soil over there and I put mulch and water. It seems to be doing okay. Like I said yesterday, this plant didn't read the book. It doesn't know this isn't supposed to work. We'll see what we get. Let's go ahead and water these carrots and get some corn in. Really good thing about the mixed mulch garden is it holds that moisture really well. So all we got to do is come out here and wet the top of this cardboard every day. There's going to be enough moisture down there for those carrot seeds to germinate. I'm going to use most of these corn seeds. I'm going to basically put 2 furrows in each one of these rows. And that ought to make enough spacing to make everybody happy. I'm still gonna plant really heavy because I want to make sure we get some good germination. And I know I'm gonna have to share some. The only real benefit for spacing that I see is it makes room for really uniform vegetables or great big vegetables, or it allows room for some kind of machinery. We're not growing to sell. I don't care what it looks like. I know what it tastes like, and we're just eating this. And even when we get a bug bite here or there, or it's not completely round, or two beets are pushed together, you know what? It still eats really fine. I'm just doing a little light soil contact. Give it a little cover. And we're gonna put just a little bit of this mulch back on top to help hold that moisture in here. And I'll bet you in 4 or 5 days we got corn up. Well, I get this other row in. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more of our friends. We've been following Jim's rebuild raised bed garden. His granddaughters came out to see the first sunflower blooming. I don't know which is prettier. Thank you, Jim. This is wonderful. We're also following Joanne and Ginny's high desert garden. They had a nice thunderstorm roll into the desert, and they also got a friend to help protect against the rat. Fence works pretty good, but Riley here works really well. Those tomatoes, they're going to start turning red pretty soon. Thank you for sharing what's possible when you don't follow any rules. The friends of this channel are just amazing, and I invite you to become one of them and help motivate people and show exactly what's possible in the garden. There's no commitment. All you have to do is email me at waylandsmalley5@gmail.com. The address is in the description box below. Well, we've got these watered in. Yeah, and it looks like a traditional nice road garden. But this is where we're going to break the rules. I've got the last of the sweet potato slips, off the last of the ends that we cut, off the last of the potatoes from last year, and I think they need to go in the ground right now. Don't know if we got enough time to get great big tubers, but we got enough time to get something, I think. So let's go ahead and put those in the ground. And that, I'm just gonna dig back a little bit. We'll just pull that mulch back a little bit, and I'm just gonna make a trench here. And we're probably gonna put them way too close, but down here at the end of this patch, I think it's gonna be okay. And we only got a couple, and they're little, so I'm gonna put them close together. Just kind of spread those roots out. Get good soil contact. And remember, the entire stem does root, so I'm not worried about how much soil I get on them or how much mulch I get on them. Now I got another patch of corn, carrots, and sweet potatoes in. Of course, my setup isn't nearly as good as our friends down in Texas. Let's go ahead and take a look at Mike and Linda's garden. East Texas, July. This is a fabulous garden. Mike and Linda have been employing the deep mulch, mixed mulch type method for a while now. Even though it looks really tidy, they've got a really nice mix of plants going on here. Mike, Linda, your garden is absolutely beautiful, and I do appreciate you letting us share your journey. You show us exactly what's possible, and I strive to have this garden looking as good as yours. Well, in a different way maybe, but it's still beautiful. Thank you. Leave a comment down below and let everybody know just how much you appreciate them sharing what's going on in their garden. If you hit that like button, it would tell YouTube to push this out to more people that might want to learn how to garden. And for us, the no rules gardening is basically picking out what we like to eat, finding a spot and putting it in the ground. And since we're using deep mulch or combination of deep mulch, which actually is a mixed mulch, it keeps that ground covered. It keeps the soil temperature moderated, keeps that life in that soil going, and that life in the soil is what makes your plants possible. By not using any chemicals, we got tons of bees out here. We also have a few predator things out here, and they eat a few things. We know that, so we plant a little heavy. But this is the kind of garden you get. You can do this too. And I invite you to become a member of this channel and show everybody what you do in your no rules garden. Show everybody what's possible. This is where we get to share ideas. You can do this too. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.